Yo, 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 it is KDK Capri, the mentor and the mentee. You back with another home edition of the Wealthy and Healthy podcast. Today, I'm going to come on a quick episode. I want to talk about your business setup. So, today, I'm going to give you a quick business setup checklist, and this is going to ensure that you're going to get maximum funding, right? We always talk about being worthy borrowers, okay? So, it all comes down to what the banks want to see from you when they're looking at your credit report. Now, when we talk about business funding, right? Your business has to look a certain way. Okay, you want to look good on paper. You want to look professional, right? You're not going to get high limits when your address is at your mama's house. You are not going to get high limits when you have a phone number, your personal phone number as your business phone number. So there's a few little things that we can start doing to start ensuring that we are going to be set up properly with our LLCs to get business funding. Okay, so starting a business is exciting, but it can be overwhelming when you are just starting out trying to, make sure you're looking good, right? Make sure you're looking good for the funders, right? Make sure you're looking good for the lenders. And it's hard to, get a clear plan together when you don't know what to look for. Okay, so that's what today is going to be for. I'm going to give you just a quick few things that you're going to need. Every business is going to need this. It doesn't matter whether you are a hair salon business or a fast food restaurant. This is what you need to have if you want to get maximum funding. Okay, so these are crucial steps that you need to take to establish a solid foundation for your business, right? This is going to ensure that you're, legally compliant. You're positioning your business for growth, right? Because all these things that I'm going to give to you today, if you do not have these things, these are going to set you back in the future. So, by following these steps, you can, secure, whatever funding that you're looking for, right? So getting your permits, creating that strong financial structure is going to be what your next step is. It's going to be your actual first step when we talk about, forming your business or your entity. So, take notes. This is essentially a roadmap that you can use and, turning your business visions into reality, because this is where, we start to have a little fun. This is where we start to create something, right? So let's move on. Let's start getting into this business checklist, y'all. All right. So number one is going to be your name check. Why is your name check the first step? So when we talk about what type of name you want to have a name that you can own. You want to have something that no one else can use without your consent or without paying you some bread. So your name check is important, right? Is your name already taken or trademarked? That's going to be extremely important, right? So if I name my business ABC Trucking and I go try and open a business and try and go get funding, or if I even try to, open a business with a name that's already been trademarked, I essentially can get sued, right? So this is a way to stay legally compliant. This is a way to stay ahead of the game. And you want to own everything that you're putting your name on. If you are a brand, if you're a personal brand and you're putting your name on something, you want to get to a point where everything that all your assets are owned under you and you trademark them so that nobody else can take your name, nobody else can use your information or resell your products without paying you first. Okay, so check with your Secretary of State to ensure the name isn't in use, right? So verify the domain availability before you even get on GoDaddy and buy the domain name or the .com, right? So make sure it's available, to secure that online presence, right? Because you don't want to get a name and then you can't use it after you've already set everything up. Okay, so that's going to be your first step. Okay, so the second step is going to be a business address. A business address is extremely important when we talk about funding. You want to look sexy on paper, okay? So choose a virtual address, a virtual mailbox. You can get one from a few different websites. You have Regis. They give you flexible workspaces. They even can give you receptionist, live receptionist. iPostal one is a great one. I personally have used iPostal and Regis. So I would personally say get iPostal just because it's a little bit on the cheap side, right? If you're just starting out and you just need the virtual mailbox, iPostal is great. But one thing I want to mention is when you do get on iPostal, you have to look up the address first, because if you look up the address and it doesn't look like a physical address, this is what's going to get you denied for funding, because that's why you want a physical and a business address, right? When these lenders, they look at your address, they're literally going to look up the address, and if it looks like a PO box or if it looks like a 7-Eleven or something like that, they are not going to give you funding. You're going to get denied because you're not looking like you're being truthful. Number one, you're not looking like you're trustworthy, and you're just looking like you're running your business out of anywhere. Okay, so you can use Regis iPostal. Another one is Anytime Mailbox. This one is going to offer, 24/7 access to your mail. That is one of the biggest perks to have an Anytime Mailbox. They're also extremely cheap as well. Another one is Alliance. They can offer virtual office solutions for, any type of business. They give you live reception options. They can give you, even places to come do meetings, right? So Alliance is a great one that anybody can utilize. The last one I want to talk about is physicaladdresses.com. So you can, use this when you just need mail forwarding services or mail handling services. Say you're running your LLC out of Delaware and you live in, Phoenix or something like that. This is going to be a great one because this is going to give you a physical address and you can, handle your mail over, cities and cities or states and states away. So that's extremely important when we talk about a business address, right? So you want to look professional, right? You want to look like you are a business, right? You're operating out of somewhere that you're not, living in, right? So that's number two, get you a business address. All right, so step number three, you want a 1-800 number. This is not going to be, if I have a business in Colorado, of course, I'm going to have a local phone number. But if you are a business that is running and you're not locally, you don't have a brick and mortar store, or you just a service-based business, or you sell digital products, you 100% need to have a 1-800 number. Okay, so things have to start matching up on paper. So once you have a 1-800 number, this is one of the biggest ways that you can look professional on paper, right? A 1-800 number is going to ensure that you look professional. Okay, so get a 1-800 number. You can get a toll-free number from grasshopper.com. Extremely easy setup. It takes about 5 minutes. You can go to 800.com. They specialize in toll-free numbers. Okay. You can go to GoDaddy. You can go get, basically your whole setup from GoDaddy. That's one thing I would recommend if you don't want to have to go through 6 different websites for your, your virtual address, your 1-800 number and your domain. So you can go to GoDaddy and get your domain, your business number, your phone services, and your physical address in some cases. So GoDaddy is a big one that everybody should be utilizing. You can get a quick 1-800 number from them. Another one is Ring Central. I personally use Ring Central. Ring Central is easy to set up. It gives you full communication solutions. It lets you set up extensions. It lets you choose, for multiple different numbers. So, Ring Central is, I think it's about $10 a month, or you can pay for the whole year. I think it was like $50 a month. That's what I did. Setting up my last business and just paying for the whole year, not having to worry about it. Now you have a phone number for the whole year just for $50. Okay. The last one is ooma.com, OOMA.com. This is a very affordable business phone service, right? They're essentially going to give you a lot of stuff with Uma. I believe they even allow you to get CRMs, and even start, building your email marketing list. So Uma has, is very versatile and it offers a lot of different things, right? So you need a 1-800 number, right? That's extremely important. Okay. All right. So let's move on to step four. This is your entity filing. When you get to the stage of having your business address and you get your phone number and you already look if your name is trademarked or not, you want to go ahead and start actually building your entity. So we talk about opening LLCs, you want to open your LLC in tax-friendly states, right? For obvious reasons. But these next few states that I'm going to show you guys, these are not only tax-friendly states, but they allow you to open anonymous LLCs, which allows you to have an extra layer of protection, right? You can bury these in trust, you can bury these in other LLCs or holding companies, and then you can add more protection on your assets or whatever it looks, right? If you don't want to be a victim of the BOI reporting, right, and you don't want to give the government your personal information, right, you can start opening up these tax-friendly slash anonymous LLC states, right? So after you open your entity, right, you want to get your articles of incorporation, right? That's basically saying that you were incorporated, right? And you want to pay your state filing fee. This is non-negotiable. Most websites like Zen Business or Taylor Brands or anything like that, they're going to let you set up your LLC for free, and all you have to do is pay for the state filing, right? They're going to, set up your articles of incorporation. A lot of times they might help you get your EIN. A lot of times they even will set everything up for you, and you just have to pay them a fee. So I would use sites like Zen Business, InkFile, LegalZoom. These are going to help you extramentally when we're talking about setting up your LLC so where you look, tax compliant. This is what you're going to need, right? That LLC is the first start of you actually opening a physical business. Okay. So let's move on to step 5. So after you open your LLC, right? After you create your LLC, you're going to need your EIN. In most states, like I know Delaware, you can get your EIN in up to 24 hours. So you can start and have your EIN and go apply for funding in up to 24 hours if you do it in Delaware. Just a quick hack, right? So your EIN is essentially your business's social security number, right? This is going to be what they're going to need from you when you apply for funding. So this is going to be another 9-digit, a 9-digit number, right? So your EIN is extremely important, okay? This is like you going to ask for funding and not having a social security number, okay? So your EIN needs to be, you need to have it, right? And it's free to get. You can go to irs.gov for the free application. Point blank period, you're going to need to have it. No, no way around having an EIN. So let's move on to step 6. You want to create an operating agreement. Now, what is an operating agreement? If you don't know what an operating agreement is, it's essentially what it sounds like. It's going to show, it's going to be an agreement, and it's going to show whoever is looking at it is going to show you what your business is going to be doing, how your business is going to operate, what are your what kind of employees are you going to need, what kind of daily tasks are going to need to be done, how is your business going to move, what type of things you're going to need to operate your business, right? If you don't have a lawyer to craft this operating agreement, you can use Zen Business. They'll get you your own operating agreement. You can go to Law Depot. You can go to Rocket Lawyer, and you can essentially just get the templates, fill it all out, and download it, right? So these agreements outline your business's structure, right? They're going to outline the rules, your operational functions. This is extremely important when we talk about being compliant. You want to have an operating agreement because you want to show people what your business is supposed to be doing. This is basically like your business blueprint. Okay, this is going to show people, okay, if you want to come work with me, right? Because you always want to have a blueprint when you're about to build something, right? You want to lay it all out, right? So when you're building something, your operating agreement is essentially going to be your business blueprint, right? So it's extremely beneficial to have this, right? It's going to show you and give you outlines on what to do and what to do and what not to do. Okay, so step 7, you want to get your business permits and licenses. Okay, you want to comply with state, federal, and local regulations. You need to know what they want from you. You need to stay legit. Okay, so for example, a bar is going to need a liquor license before they start opening the bar and start selling alcohol. Okay, before they start commencing business, they need to have that liquor license and they have to pay for it and they cannot get it. There's no way around it. So, whatever type of business you have, you need to make sure that you get the proper business permits and licenses, right? This is what's going to set you apart from the people who are actually doing business and the people who are doing faulty business, right? The people who are not actually running a successful business. Okay? Get your business permits and license. You are going to need this 100%. Not all of them are going to be free. You're going to have to pay for a lot of them, but it's what's going to keep you compliant with the state and local regulations. Okay. So that's extremely important. All right. So last step. All right. So step 8, we done went through them pretty quick. So step 8, you want to set up your business bank account, right? It's said that your business is never truly open until you have a business bank account, right? So keep your business and personal finances separate. You don't want to have business money flowing through your personal bank account, right? So this is extremely important. You always want to make sure you're running your business, professionally, right? So some quick starter banks for, just your first business bank account. You can use Novo. I personally have banked with Novo. Relay is a great one. Blue Vine, Chase Business is also a great one. And another place, a few other places you guys can start utilizing is your local credit unions. Okay, certain credit unions are going to make you put down a deposit, but again, it's going to be money that you can still use for your business. So if I know Navy Federal, they require a $225 business. They want you to put that in your business bank account before you even open it. They want you to deposit that in your account, right? But if you are using $225 just to run your ads, right? Just recycle that money and move it into that next account. Start building that relationship with that credit union, right? This is what's going to help you start getting approved for credit cards, right? Just flowing money through your business bank account. Okay. So step 9 is going to be tax and accounting services. everybody can understand why this is so important. Understanding your tax obligations is going to either keep your business open or it's going to close it before you even had any fun yet. Okay. So this is going to ensure your business stays open. So use softwares like QuickBooks. You can use Wave, Keeper, Gusto I personally use Gusto. It's one of my favorite, softwares to use when it comes to payroll, accounting services, taxes, separating your business. A lot of your business bank accounts are going to help you out a lot with that as well. So always track your finances. Always make sure you're looking at putting money away for taxes, okay, and accounting. Okay, so that's extremely important. Bench is another one you can use as well. So, we all understand how important it is because when you work a job, they're going to automatically take the taxes out for you. Now you have to start learning how you're going to start allocating your funds, right? So at least 15% needs to go to taxes automatically, okay? Because if not, you're going to have a hefty bill, and if you don't have that money put away automatically, you're going to have a big tax bill that you're not going to be able to pay, and now you're going to be hit with interest and late payments, okay? So always get tax and accounting services. Step number 10, the last step. You want to create a business plan. Creating this plan and setting up your goals is essential. Okay, your operating agreement is your business blueprint. That's going to give you the what to do's and what not to do's. Your business plan is going to give you the goals that you need to reach. So set reasonable expectations and targets, right? You want to, find the right systems and processes that are going to work for your business, right? In your business model, right? A marketing agency is going to have a different business model than a fast food restaurant, okay? So you have to make sure your business is set up in the correct way. So having a business plan is going to keep you on track. It's going to, it's not going to steer you and make you, sometimes as entrepreneurs, we wake up and we want to go in so many different ways, but your business plan is going to keep you focused and disciplined. Okay. So, that is a quick business checklist. You're going to need to check every single one of these off whenever you are creating any LLC, any business. Okay. So that's extremely important. I just wanted to get you guys some quick game and knowledge here. I'm going to leave the free business checklist below. It's going to literally just break down everything I just said in a little bit more, right? So you done took the first step, right? You took the first step. You opened your business. You formed your entity, and, you are starting to get into a point where you're becoming the better entrepreneur that you know you can be, right? So these are the steps you got to take. So trust in the process, trust in your vision, keep the leverage that you have with the resources you have in your credit, and, keep going and keep learning, because that's all entrepreneurship is. It's personal development. So keep learning, keep understanding what the rich know and what the broke don't, right? So keep going, right? This checklist is going to keep you in check, right? So remember, every successful entrepreneur has started where you are, right? So embrace the challenges ahead. Keep going, keep moving, keep doing what you're supposed to do, right? Right. So it's time to put the plans into action. So check off everything on this checklist. Let me know if there's anything I missed, anything I could have added in, anything you want me to dive deeper into. Okay. So that was the business checklist for 2025. My name is KDK Capri. This caps off today's episode of the Credit and Entrepreneur Empowerment Challenge, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow with an episode. I might drop another one tonight. We'll see how I feel, but again, just believe in yourself, stay focused, and keep coming to me for that free game and that free knowledge. My name is KDK Capri. Bow.